Hello, welcome to another episode of the Honest Football Coach podcast with me, Dan Steele. And again, as you can see, I have another guest. Let me introduce you to Alex Hale. How are you, Alex? You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me.
Superb. So, you are slightly different to every coach that I've interviewed before, or every person, because you're slightly out of the area. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and where you do your football, my friend?
Yeah, so I'm based in Wolverhampton. I'm 27 years of age. I turned 27 yesterday. I currently manage an under-14s team, Darlington Town. We play in the West Midlands in the Walsall Junior League. I've been coaching since the age of 16, 17, and I'm still doing it to this day. I don't have any kids myself, so I've not coached, any kids of my own. So I feel like I've got a good experience of not having any sort of bias towards anyone. And I feel like I feel like that's always made me a good candidate to be a coach and a manager of a football team.
Superb. So, how did you get into football then? Did you play yourself and then move into coaching, or was it a career choice? Maybe a lot of people say that. I wanted to be a coach. I went to college, etc. So, how did you land into it?
In terms of football itself, pretty similar to most people. I played from a young age. It was only ever Sunday league level, really. I played from the age of about 7 till about 15, 16. And then when I stopped, and I left school, I went to college and did football coaching at college. It wasn't something I'd ever thought about, actually. I'd had different ideas of what I wanted to do at school. I did 2 weeks at sixth form and I hated it. And it came to the point where it came to the point where my dad was like, "Look, you've got a couple of options here. You can either stick it out, you can go do an apprenticeship somewhere, or you can go to college and go do something at college." So the one day when I was at sixth form, he came back and he said, "Look, I've been to the college, I've had a look at a couple of courses for you, and here's one you might be interested in." And it was a football coaching course. And like I say, it's something I'd never really thought about. But then I look back at it now, and I think back to the times when even at primary school, I'm there playing career mode on FIFA. Like, a lot of people are playing the online stuff. I'm there playing career mode by myself, managing the team. And it kind of made sense because I always enjoyed that side of it, and I've got quite a good football brain. It didn't always translate and go to my feet, but I've always had the ideas up in my head, and yes, it kind of made sense, to be fair.
Super.
So go on.
I was just going to say, your background sounds very similar to mine. I mean, I've been obsessed with football from a very young age. Play career mode myself on the FIFAs. I've never played online. Whereas my son downstairs, he's on career mode on the Ultimate Team and what have you. And I had something about building teams and putting things together, which I found really interesting. So, going back to your coaching then. So after your football, you hang your boots up and you go into coaching. Is it what you thought it was, or did you have no idea what to expect?
Well, I'm the youngest of my siblings. It's just me and my sister. I'm the youngest of the two. And I wasn't ever really surrounded by many young children growing up. Like, none of my cousins are younger than me. I'm the youngest one, basically. So I'd never really been surrounded by younger children. So when I went into coaching at 16, 17, and I'm working with kids from the ages of 4, 5, 6 initially, it was a bit of a reality check, and a big step into the a big step into the big wide world of being an adult and just coaching in general. But yeah, it was enjoyable. It was something different, and I enjoyed the experience. Yeah, definitely.
Super, good stuff. The team you coach now, then. So, do you want to give them a bit of a shout and let us know the age group and the league that they play in?
I currently manage Darlington Town Eagles under 14s. They play in the Walsall Junior Youth League. We're currently in Division 4, but I think we're currently in the top 3 of Division 4, so there's a chance for us to go up. But we'll see how we get on with that. But we're doing all right. We're doing all right, mate.
Cool. So is that sort of your league structure? Is it the same as, I don't know, I'm a Stoke City supporter, so the Championship, the top two go up and the four are in the playoffs. Is there a similar sort of structure within your league?
To be honest with you, mate, it's the way that they do it is sort of it's not even a case of if you finish within the top two or three that you're guaranteed to go up. Sometimes there might be a team down in Division 5 that have completely romped the league. They might put them up to Division 3 next time round, because the
Oh,
season
okay.
sort of gets split into two, or yeah, it gets split into like two or three, because there's only ever like 7, 8, 9 teams in each division. And they
Yeah.
tend to split it up throughout the year rather than doing just one big league throughout the entire season. Which I understand, and I do prefer that, to be fair, because if you're a team that you could argue has been wrongly put in the incorrect division and you're
Mhm.
getting come to be beaten every single week, to do that for the
Yeah.
entire season is demoralising. So at least if
Yeah.
you have those couple of months where, okay, you might lose a few games, but the next time round you'll get put into a more suitable division for yourself. So
Okay.
yeah, it's hard to say at the minute whether we will go up, because it can also depends on like teams folding, etc., and how other teams get on. It's just whatever the league thinks is the most suitable for each team, to be fair.
It's funny you should say, because I've just learned something new. I thought that once the development ladder sort of finished, which is what I'm doing now, so up to under 12s, I believe, we joined the league, and then that was it. You were in the league, and you would just keep playing until you finished. But tell me if I'm wrong, but I kind of picked up that there's sort of still development within those leagues. So if you've got a team that absolutely smashes it in Division 5, they could go up a couple of leagues. That's really quite interesting, that is. When does that stop then? When do you become a normal structured league? Does it ever?
It's hard for me to say, because this is the highest and the oldest set of players that I've ever managed and coached. So I'm all, the last 2 or 3 years I've been learning on the job as well, because it's the highest I've ever been.
Yeah.
But from what I can remember over that period, it's kind of always been like that. They've tried to move teams around and put them in divisions that are best suited for them, so they're not getting hammered every single week, which I
Yeah.
understand and is good, because it is demoralising. At the end of the day, as competitive as it is, and as much as we want to win games, it's demoralising for whether they're 11, 12. Getting beaten every week. It's not nice, particularly if it's like heavily beaten. I've been I've played for teams that are like that. I've managed teams that are like that.
Yeah.
Played against teams. It's not nice to see. So I do understand the reasoning for it, and I think it is beneficial for teams.
So it's kind of a proactive approach from the leagues and maybe even the FA to sort of even the playing field a little bit. You are right in what you say. I mean,
Yeah,
our league season this season, we were very close. I have to be sort of very grateful to everybody that's joined our team and all the parents that have joined, because we were very close to folding at the end of last season because players left. We've won one game all season. And weirdly, we won that by 10 goals. We won 10 something, 10-4, I think it was. But we've been on the receiving end of a
yeah.
few of those sore ones, and it's not. I mean, we talk about winning doesn't matter, the score doesn't matter, but you try to tell the 10-year-olds that the score doesn't matter after they've just lost 12 something is, they're not interested. They want the bragging rights, don't they? Of course they do. Just getting back to
Yeah.
your under 14s, then, if you don't mind, Alex.
Yep.
I've got a team, like I say, of under 10s. I've kind of got one eye on the future to see where this team will go, and hopefully it'll go all the way to under 18s. Then, if they want to carry on playing football, brilliant. How easy is it to sort of find players around your age group? Is it something that you could just go on a Facebook chat or a group and they come flooding through the door, or is it quite difficult to pick?
For my particular age group at the minute, if we're going off that, if going off the last couple of years, shall we say, under 13s and 14s, I'd say about half the players that came in over the last 2 years have been people that have known other lads that play for my team.
Okay.
And I'd say the other half has been a couple of advertisements that I've seen and then I've asked the question and sort of advertised the team, and then they've come to training, and we've just taken it from there. So it's kind of one of those really where if you've got lads in your team that have people in their class at school or people in their year group that they know, then you can almost use your players to sort of, if you've got mates, come and bring them along, give them my number, and we'll see if we can sort something, and we'll just see how it goes. But to be honest with you, it was easier for me. It was easier for me personally when they were primary school age, because with my old job, I used to work as a sports coach.
Right, okay.
And I used to deliver lessons in primary schools. So I'd met so many of the kids. I'd seen how good some of them were footballing wise. So it was a bit easier then. It's got harder as the boys have gone to secondary school and I've changed career. But there's always ways of doing it, definitely. Yeah.
So you were a sort of little Pep Guardiola scouting mission in the schools, then picking up the good kids in the PE class.
If you want to call it that, Dan, if you want to call it that.
I've got none of that. I'm a bit jealous, to be honest with you, because we find it quite difficult. We find it really difficult to attract new players, and we've got a handful of players now who have never played football in a team before, which is brilliant because you can see the development, not just in the football terms, but in their own personality. I mean, they keep pulling on my sleeve saying, "Can they come on this podcast and talk to me?" And I'm dreading it because I don't know what they're going to say. That's the point of it, Something that I have to sort of keep an eye out on when I'm recruiting players, and I don't know if it's going to be the same for you, is the parents as well. So I don't know, as an under-14s, do the parents have much say? Do they have much involvement in which team the kids play for? Because at the minute, I'm at a stage where it's quite important for a parent to put the child in a safe place as a 10-year-old, in somewhere where they're going to enjoy the football. And I've always thought under-14s, like you might have just brushed on, there's just a group of lads having a bit of a laugh together. Are parents as important in your side?
I'd definitely say so, because at the end of the day, if parents aren't there to bring their kids to the training and football matches, then you haven't got a team. So just in that respect, they are very important. But I think also just having a good group of parents that are willing to trust you and leave you to do your job and do your bit, I think is important as well. I think if you have too many voices, too many opinions, and you end up trying to please everyone, that's when it becomes difficult, because in life in general, but in football in particular, you're not going to please everyone. You can't please everyone.
No,
and as soon as you start trying to please everyone, that's when it's going to, it's going to cause problems, and it's going to become more difficult than it needs to be. So the parents have to trust you. They have to be willing to sort of put their children in your hands, and sort of have that faith that you're going to look after them.
Just going back to your club, Darlaston Town, how big is your club? Is it one team? Is it multiple age groups? Or
yeah, so the first team, Darlaston Town first team, currently play at Step 4. They've recently been promoted there within the last couple of years. But in terms of their youth section, they do have a few teams. It's not a huge youth section, but they do have a few teams. I think the youngest they've got is maybe under 10s, under 11s, I think it is.
Yeah.
But I haven't always been at Darlaston Town. It's only been the last couple of years that we've moved there. I used to be at Lanehead. That's where I played as a kid. It's where I took on my first team. And then this group that I'm with now were originally at Lanehead, and it's only been over the last 2 years I've sort of moved them across to Darlaston Town, purely because of the way the club was going in terms of the promotions that the first team had, the facilities. We just felt it was the right time to make a move, and me and my dad were season ticket holders as well, so it just made sense really, just to make that move. We just felt the opportunity was right.
So it sort of feels a little bit more, what's the word I want to use? A bit more home. It feels a bit more comfortable being there.
Yeah. I'd say so. I mean, we play our home games at the ground as well. So we don't use the first team pitch, but they've got youth pitches around. So that's always nice when opposition teams come and they sort of see the facilities and they're really impressed by it. So that's always quite nice as well.
Cool. Is it grass or is it 3G, 4G? Is it
grass? Yeah, it's grass. Yeah,
grass. Yeah, it's quite unusual. I mean, there's a lot of places where I live in Stoke who have had a lot of lottery funding or a lot of Premier League funding that have got these phenomenal 4G pitches. You're never allowed to walk on them, which I've always found amazing. You've got to have a certain type of stud or a boot before you could walk on them. Very protective of them, but they're good quality, and it kind of brings me back to a conversation I had with somebody off the podcast. It was somebody I was working with, and we were talking about the facilities that kids have got now, and the kind of. I don't even think my lad realises how lucky he is when he plays on these pitches, because my Wembley Stadium was a supermarket car park once upon a time. We were sort of brought up on a council estate where we used to kick a football against a set of garages. Was it the same for you growing up?
Yeah, to be fair, pretty much it was either out on the street, or I was quite fortunate enough to have a decent sized back garden, so it used to be there really. Occasionally it'd be over a field or a park, whatever. But yeah, it was never really to the level that some of the players and teams get nowadays. To be completely honest.
No, it's brilliant. And it used to do that thing as well that whoever owned the football, when they had enough, they used to take the ball, and that was the end of the game. If you were rubbish, you went in goal. It's I used to go in goal for a lot less. Cool, good stuff. So, what's your sort of? I mean, I kind of like this question, but if you could change anything within football, and whether obviously you can't change your team or anything, but if there's anything in particular that would help you to be a better coach, what would you point out as being that thing?
It's a very good question, Dan.
Took me ages thinking.
I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe financially things were a little bit more reasonable in terms of whether it's venues that we use for training, whether that was a little bit more affordable. We could use like a larger area, or have the venue have the pitch for longer, for example. Maybe bits of equipment. I mean, I really like the VR cameras.
Okay.
I think they're great in terms of what they give you. I mean, we've played against a couple of teams that have those VR cameras, and when we get sent the footage, I will sit there in my room, I'll whack it on the TV, and I'll watch the game back, and you pick up so many things that you wouldn't have seen being on the sideline. Yeah. But it's for an under-14s team at grassroots level, like the level that we play at, we can't justify spending the kind of money on it. So yeah, I'd probably say financially, that sort of side of it would be something that I'd like to. I don't know how we'd change it, but it's something I'd like to make it a little bit more affordable potentially. But yeah,
that's. I'll be honest with you, when you say it's a great question, that's probably one of the best answers I've had for that question, because I think finance affects everybody. We run a phenomenal club with a brilliant committee, and we've got a finance guy who looks after everything. We've got brilliant pitches. But everything costs money, and everything's gone up, hasn't it? So, what do you do with your kits then? When you buy your kit yourself and your training equipment, or is that supplied by the club?
So it's money that's put into our team via parents' subs that they pay. Yeah. So it just all goes into one kitty. And to be fair, we do get sponsors as well. We do get a couple of sponsors that might pay for a kit, or might pay for some jackets for the players or whatever. So you do get a little bit of help with that side of it as well. But a lot of it is just raising the money yourself. I mean, there's plenty of occasions where I've spent my own money getting stuff, and I don't mind doing that. Like, that's absolutely fine, because if it's going to help me, if it's going to benefit the players, I'm more than happy to do it. There's obviously a certain level of cost that I can't go to. Otherwise, I'd happily go and get like a VR camera, for example. But I'm more than happy to. I mean, you can probably see I've got my own massive tactics board there.
I've seen it. I've already clocked it. I was trying to figure out what your setup was for the weekend. That was what it was.
To be fair, I think that's probably just from planning a training session, to be honest with you. So don't take any notice of that.
No. Listen, I'm still using YouTube and pens and paper. That's where I am. But yeah, I really like that. I really like the answer with finance. I think there's a lot of people that watch these podcasts. Even in the early days, they started watching. And if there's somebody out there that would like to sort of help out a team, then I think any club would be happy for any support, whether it be just paying for, I don't know, a set of coats or some warm clothing for the kids, some bobble hats or whatever it is. So if there is anybody out there, then get in touch and we'll pass the details over by all means. Alex, I'm going to wrap it up there, mate. And I think you've been phenomenal. I think your answers have been fantastic. And probably more importantly, let me wish you a happy birthday for yesterday, mate. You celebrating this weekend?
That. Thank you very much for having me.
You celebrating this weekend?
To be honest, I'm a bit of a grumpy old man. I'll be like completely honest with you. I'm a bit of a grumpy old man. It's just another day to me. It's just another reminder that I'm getting old. So I might potentially do something. I might have a cheeky drink, but I prefer a chill one nowadays, to be fair. But yeah,
super. No, I don't blame you. Superb, mate. You've been a superstar. Thank you very much. Look after yourself.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks for having me. Cheers, bud.